Breaking news, law enforcement is corrupt, racist, and bloodthirsty.
Down on the ground! Down on the ground! Down on the ground! All right, let's go.
Riley, kick it, please. Our clear cells are all over the place.
Now back to reality. Media agenda setting occurs every day with every story shown in the mainstream media. In the newsroom, violence gets ratings. When you add in race and law enforcement, that's where the big media dollars are. In a society full of agendas and framing, it is sometimes hard to get a good sense of where the media's pseudo-reality ends and the real reality starts. Media gatekeepers allow only certain parts of a story to be told. Reporters, newsroom directors, and editors don't fact-check their sources and can cause misinformation to be spread for the public to consume. Misinformation or false storytelling can not only cause confusion, but mistrust in government agencies and mistrust in the media as a whole. As was the case after the mainstream media showed coverage of a man being brutalized by police in February of 1991.
The 3 police officers facing felony criminal charges were among a group of 15 who stopped a 25-year-old black man last Saturday night, then beat him, kicked him, and clubbed him, unaware that an amateur photographer was recording the incident on videotape.
This infamous video is of the Rodney King beating on the streets of Los Angeles near the Foothill Freeway. This small piece of a 2-minute video shot by amateur photographer George Holliday was replayed over and over in the news, using eye-catching headlines. Newspapers all around the country reported on the force used on Rodney King. All articles used words like violent, wildly, pounding, pummeling, and brutality to describe what the video being replayed by media was showing. This small segment of video brought so much media attention it framed a crisis situation in the minds of millions of people, primarily those located in Los Angeles. The media failed to show the sequence of events leading up to the beating by police, showing only a swarm of white LAPD officers beating a seemingly helpless African-American man. I had a chance to sit down and talk to Tom Marshall, the retired SWAT team officer and retired detective from the Simi Valley Police Department, to talk about his involvement in the Rodney King issue.
King was tased. Twice he was tased, pulled him out. That was scary. So now it led to either dogpiling. They first initially dogpiled, you watch the video, and he stands up and throws them all off of him. 4 officers right off his back like they were children. Okay, again, scary. So now the next thing was the batons. They came out. So they were using escalation of force. But now the only portion that they show is the batons. They got them down to the ground and they start hitting them while they're on the ground. Well, that's because this whole thing has been escalating the whole time. The officers' adrenaline is all pumped up. They're scared watching what this guy's doing, throwing us off, throwing the taser, nothing's working. Oh my God, if we can't get him down with the baton, we're gonna have to shoot this guy. I mean, I'm not saying that would have happened, but you know, you kind of just wonder what's gonna go through your head when something like that is happening. That's what the jurors saw. That's why they were hung on Powell, because it was that last couple of seconds there that he was still hitting. When everybody else stopped, he was still going at it. Coon should have reached over and yanked Powell out of that. Should have recognized that Powell was still pumped up in that. Maybe he's just still scared. Who knows what it is? But as a supervisor, he should have pulled him out of that. And that's why they made Stacy Coons responsible, because he didn't do that as a supervisor. That he allowed the subordinate to still continue on.
The following was said by Ronald N. Jacobs of the Media Agenda. While all the mainstream media began their respective Rodney King narratives through a focus on police brutality, they ended their stories through plots that emphasized politics. The media agenda caused a total societal uproar, resulting in the Los Angeles riots of 1992, which caused 53 deaths and thousands of injuries, all seemingly because the media failed to show a neutral view of a story. Though the Rodney King beating and its trial was only one example of media agenda setting in law enforcement, this use or apparent misuse of video and story details are everyday problems we all face.